Good morning. We are brought to you by Recon Techs. That's right, Recon Techs in the corner of 8th and Black in Springfield. It's Recon Tech, your one-stop vehicle reconditioning center. Call 217-670-1132. That's Recon Tech. Call and get yourself a detail. A car detail that'll make your car look better than new. And how about a coating? How about a coating for your car that for the life of the coating, you won't have to wax your car. Get a 3, a 5, a 7-year coating. That means no waxing. Just take it through a car wash. It comes out looking sparkling clean. You can get that. You can get that from Recon Tech on the corner of 8th and Black in Springfield. Call 217-670-1132. And Just Beds. You know Just Beds. They're on the On Exterminators. Call Just Beds. Or how about just swing by Just Beds? 3120 Montvale Drive. Take a walk in and look at the selection of mattresses that they have. Full size, queen size, king size mattresses. Look at the variety of mattresses. Go in there and pick one out. Find a mattress that you like, and then pay for it and go home. That's all you got to do, because they deliver. They will deliver your mattress. You don't have to take a mattress and put it on top of your car roof like a. You don't have to take a mattress and ride around town like some hillbilly. No. All you've got to do is go to Just Beds at 3120 Montvale Drive, purchase your mattress, go home, and they deliver it. That's what they do. They bring you a mattress. They even take your old one. They dispose of it properly, unless your mattress is filthy dirty. If you have a filthy dirty mattress, they take it and they throw it in the backyard. That's where they put the filthy mattress. Thank God. It is Just Beds, 3120 Montvale Drive. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Morning. I heard there were claims made in last night's debate. I want to check with the leading. There were claims made that immigrants are eating pets. So I wanted to go to the leading home of pets in Central Illinois, in Springfield. It's Christina's house, to find out if any immigrants have eaten any burgers. Christina, have any immigrants eaten pets at your house?
I am missing a couple cats.
Well, maybe.
I don't know where they went.
Maybe, who knows? Maybe it's true. Maybe there are immigrants eating pets. Good morning, everybody. I see people are popping in. Holly says good morning. Kara says good morning. Big D says good morning.
Good morning.
Karen says all her cats are accounted for.
Oh, thank God.
And Tom says, good morning, Karen, Holly, Chrissy, Ray, and Steve, and chat. Well, good morning, Tom.
Oh,
wow.
I think Tom's ill.
Yeah, he's being very nice to Steve lately.
My cat's accounted for.
Until Steve
sleeping.
Can I just want to point this out. With as many unhomed cats and dogs there are, why would an immigrant have to eat a pet?
Beats me.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I just thought I'd point that out.
Yeah.
But oh well. Good morning, everyone. That was the wildest. That was the wildest thing I heard in last night's debate. I could have put money down. Here's the one thing I'm not going to hear about. And I'll be damned. That's what I heard about. Wow. Good Lord. And I think that was the greatest fact check I've ever heard in a debate. Where they go, excuse me, Mr. President, but we called the city manager of Springfield, Ohio, and there has never been anyone eating any cats. Oh, well.
Wow.
Big D says he feeds all the cats in the neighborhood with a yellow bottle of food. That's, oh, my God. No, there's no yellow bottle of food. Oh, my God.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, yeah. And the one about executing the babies was interesting. Yes. Holly says, can we not do politics? I'm already over it. And they don't have to kill animals. They get free government money. Well, I'm not getting to politics. I'm just bringing up that I don't know if people are eating cats. I figured I'd go to the leading person of cats in Central Illinois. That's Christina's house.
Why would it be brought up at a presidential debate?
It was brought up at a debate. Yeah.
Wow.
I gotta be honest. Tom says that a debate between Trump and Steve would be the most intelligent person there. Maybe last night. I don't think last night was Trump's night. That's all I'll say.
Ooh.
So, but
that's not saying very much. Wow.
But but what I mean, of course, Holly says that's me. I eat all animals. None are safe because I am poor. Well, I don't know who's eating animals, but
I've never eaten a cat or dog.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Listen, I think that there are enough strays. If someone, I don't know how dogs or cats taste, but I find it. I mean, why not eat a deer? There's a bunch of deer running around.
Oh, yeah. Lots.
Eat a deer or a rabbit or whatever. I don't know why. I don't know why a person would believe that, but oh well. Spanky's in the chat room. Hey, Spank and Dank. Spanky says good morning. So what's going on, everybody?
Not a damn thing.
Wonderful day.
Yeah, what do you plan to do today?
I don't know. Nothing.
You got no plans?
I've already showered.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Thank God. Yeah, I noticed first thing. He changed his shirt.
My shirt.
Yeah, well, I mean,
he's only had the same
wash my balls
Saturday. Oh my God.
You washed your balls. Well, congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, usually when you bathe and you're washing everything, Steve.
And when you get up early in the morning, you got nice hot water.
Yeah.
For the gooch blast and boy, I had to.
I
actually couldn't go full hot. I had to go half hot.
Ooh. Does your water run out in your complex?
No, I don't know what kind of system they have. I mean, because everybody's when they pay the water bill. So
I'm just wondering, is there a time when you guys run out of hot water? Like if
I don't know. We never have.
Oh, that's good.
Because we only got one. Maybe that's why we only have one washer and one dryer for 12 fucking people. Good Lord.
I never understood that.
Jen says she just woke up and she feels like shit. So Jen, I'm sorry, you gotta be careful. COVID's going around again.
Yep.
COVID's going around.
That shit can stay away from me.
Yeah. Mini Stink says, Steve, you have to use soap. You do know that, right?
I did.
Did you use soap?
Yeah.
Soap directly on the balls, or did you?
Directly on the balls with washcloth.
Good for you.
Down in the cracks, up underneath the fat cracks. Yep.
Karen wants to know if I saw the catch PCA made to end the game last night. No, I did not watch the Cubs game. I didn't watch the Cubs game because I watched the debate, and then after the debate, I watched Murders in the Building. Oh my God. This is the best season they've ever done on Murders in the Building.
Shh.
It is so good. Have you not watched it yet, Christina?
I not last night's.
Oh yeah. Well, last night
But
you'll
first
love
two
last night.
episodes have
Last
been
night was
my God,
very good.
it's been great.
I think this is the best season they've ever done. This is really good. No, but I love PCA. I think he's fantastic defensive player. I'll have to see the highlights of it. Yep. Let's see. Cindy wants to know if that's a powder cloud over Williams.
No.
You powder them balls after you wash them, Steve?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You should see the powder all over his bedroom, all over everything. It looks like he's in there eating fucking powdered donuts or something.
He
all over the bed, floor.
You know what I do is I take a little bit of powder.
I have a pre-powder cloth and a post-powder cloth.
No, what I do is what I put on my underwear. And when I put my underwear on, then I stand up. I take a little powder and I just put a little in the underwear and then pull the underwear on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't, that's how I put a little powder in. And that seems to powder me just fine.
Do that, Steve.
Yeah. It's a little less messy. Just put a little powder in the underwear and then pull them up.
That's what I do. But what I do is I'll do this thing. I'll put a little poof in the butt and the taint area and warm, and then with my hand and lift this side up, throw it on there, and then this hand, and you gotta go under the boobs.
I'm just saying, put your legs in the underwear. All right.
Right. My legs are in underwear. The underwear are almost pulled up.
And then stand up.
Right.
And then
Why do I have to stand up?
Because I'm telling you how to put the powder in. And then just put a streak of powder, go from the back end of the underwear and take all the way to the front, and then just pull the underwear the rest of the way up, and all the powder will automatically set in. You know what I mean? Then there's no big flopping of powder everywhere. It's just in your underwear.
Yeah, no mess everywhere.
Yeah.
The bed, the floor, it's on the dresser, it's everywhere. I had to take the broom in there. Yeah, I used to see old ladies, they take their rugs outside, beat them with the broom.
Yeah.
That's me in there. I beat his bed with the broom because it's just everywhere.
It's so disturbing. It's so disturbing.
This is coming from a woman who claims to be my cleaning lady.
Well, she doesn't want to clean up your powder mess.
Touching your ball powder.
Yeah.
I know where that powder's
been.
Oh.
Exactly. I know where that powder's been. No.
Doesn't want to touch ball powder. Good Lord. I don't blame her. Poor Christina. Aaron says what you need is a container of powder that you can just dip your balls in.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
It sounds like he overdoes it.
You coat them.
I think you overdo it, Steve.
Donut holes. Donut balls.
That's when I really experienced the first tingle. Was when I was at my grandmother's house, and she always had this powder that had a little poofy ball with it, And I remember I used it in the bathroom, and I went poof down on my ding-a-ling. Like, oh, that felt good.
Oh my God.
By the way, Holly says they have a ton of different Dr. Squatch at Shields.
Oh, really?
Oh, is Holly working at Shields now?
She must be. I know she got a second job. I didn't know what.
Yeah, so she stopped working at that restaurant and went to Shields. Yeah. I'll be damned. Way to go, Holly. Got that Dr. Squatch. I like that Dr. Squatch.
Oh.
Just use a streak Just a streak, like when you shit your pants, Steve. That's what you just need to streak a ball powder in your underwear, and then pull the underwear up. Yeah, a big cloud of powder will erupt from Steve if you beat him. Yeah.
Let's test it. I'm gonna beat him.
I'm just telling you, if you just put them in your underwear, and if you then pull your underwear up, the powder is exactly where you want it. You know what I mean?
Hey, Steve, when you fart, does a big puff of a cloud come out?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
If it's fresh powder, yeah.
I can't imagine.
I'll be sitting in the chair and it'll come up between my legs.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There you go. Ooh.
Bunch of white powder. It looks like LeBron James before a game when he takes the claps his hands together. That's just
major mixture cloud.
My God.
Oh my God.
What? Wow. Why are we talking about me powdering my balls?
I don't know.
Steven says, does everyone remember what they were doing 23 years ago? Absolutely.
Sure do.
I was on the air.
And I was listening. I was on my way to work.
On the air. It was the craziest day ever.
I was trying to get a hold of my mom because she lived in New York.
I was on the air, and we had heard, all that we heard was a plane had hit a building in New York.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was happening. It happened so fast. We were doing a bit. We were doing a bit where Jimmy was on a loudspeaker saying things. All right. And while he was saying things, it was a bit that was written by Brando and Rich. And so, Brando, Rich, and me back at the studio, we were just coming up with stuff in there. And Brando was telling them to Mikey, who was telling them to Mikey, who was telling them to Jimmy, who was then saying them loud in the speaker. So we heard a plane hit the world, hit the towers. Okay. Well, a few weeks earlier, there was a plane that hit a building in Miami or somewhere. It was a Cessna plane. A Cessna plane or something like that hit a building. And so Rich thought it was another Cessna. So he writes a joke. He writes a joke that says, I'm Jim the photographer, and I planned for a plane to hit a building today in a terrorist attack. Okay. And this is while it was going on, we didn't know anything. And it was just the joke that he wanted to put out there because he thought it was a Cessna. And so they put the joke while the bit was going live. And then Jimmy does the joke. Right. And we were syndicated at the time. So we were on in Springfield and Peoria and Bloomington and all that stuff. And so Brandon tells Mikey, Mikey tells Jimmy, and Jimmy does the joke right when a plane hits the second building. And when the second building got hit and we noticed it was a jet, everybody goes, holy shit, what the hell? And I remember the uncomfortableness of Jimmy saying that joke. And then he tells the joke and there's dead silence. He goes, what? And I remember him being on a loudspeaker and he's going, what? And then Mikey shuts down the bit and Jimmy's like, what? You know, because he had no idea what was going on. And then everybody felt bad. And then we just had to, turned off all the humor from the show.
Right.
And I had to break in. I go, everyone, I'm sorry, but we just got news that what is happening is not some joke. This isn't a little Cessna that went off course. These are jets. And it was crazy. The next thing you know, Brando, because Noid was not there. Noid was in Florida at the time. So Brando grabs a TV from the hallway and brings it into the studio and plugs it in. So now we have TV to see the stuff.
Right.
And I just remember how crazy it all got. And I ended up staying on the air until like 5 p.m. because it was just crazy. It was a nutty day. It was a nutty day. And you were listening, Christina?
Yep, I was listening. I was on my way to work.
Big D says he was at work listening to the show. It was the most surreal morning. My wife was very pregnant. I mean,
oh wow,
very pregnant with Bella. We were 7. She was 7 months pregnant with Bella at the time. In fact, she was over 7 months pregnant.
wow.
And it was crazy. Yeah, it was just nuts. It was an insane day. So I remember it. I distinctly remember what happened on that day. Tyler says that they were released from school early due to a transformer exploding. TJ says I will never forget that day. It was nuts. Holly says she was getting ready for work when it happened. She worked at AT&T on the way to work. The second hit. When I got to work, we were scrambling to get portable towers out, and I'll be damned. Yeah. DA says Ray and John had to turn off the humor on the show, just like what happens when Steve mumbles. It was nuts because I just remember everyone was freaking out because our phones went nuts. I just remember our phones were we had a switchboard that had lights on it. You know what I mean? And the lights were just,
Wow.
And every call we picked up, this is the fucking Nazis. I'm like, no, there's no Nazis.
Oh God, Lord.
This is the Russians.
Yeah.
Hello. Who's, people were wondering who was attacking us, what was going on, and we didn't know anything. So the biggest thing I could do is just say, well, listen, just slow down. Slow down. We don't know anything yet. Mm-hmm. And then people were like, it's the Muslims, and oh my God, people were like, I'm gonna go out, find some Muslims and beat the shit out of them. Who's with me? And it was like, oh my God. No, it was a crazy time because we had never seen anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
We'd never seen anything like that before. So yeah, I remember it was one of the craziest days I ever experienced because the phone calls were so odd on that day. Because everybody was affected.
Mm-hmm.
We were all affected by what was going on, and people just wanted to do something. They just wanted. They didn't know what they wanted to do, but they just wanted to do something. And so we just took the calls. And then we just calmed everybody down. We just calmed them down and said, "Hey, listen, let's just get through this together." But I do remember we got a call from a guy, a Middle Eastern guy. When it became obvious that that it was a Middle Eastern group that had done this. You know what I mean? Because there was a time when it first happened, nobody knew what was going on. Nobody knew what was going on. Then things started becoming more clear, and we remembered there was when Bill Clinton was president, I want to say 98, 99, there was a guy who tried to blow up those towers.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they remembered that he was from somewhere, I don't know. He was a member of Al Qaeda or the Taliban or whatever the hell he was from. But there was a guy there, and then when they somehow the FBI was saying we think it's related to whatever that guy's name was, and it became obvious that okay, this was some kind of Middle Eastern situation. And I remember a guy calling. There was a guy from maybe Peoria or Bloomington, who was Middle Eastern, and the guy called in, and he was like, he was so happy to be in this country.
Huh.
And then and I just remember the fear in that guy's voice when he was saying that where he was, people were saying all these things, and he was like, how do I hide the fact that he goes, I can't hide the brown skin. People are going to know. And I talk this way. And he was really worried about stuff. And I just remember how that affected me. I was like, oh my God, I never thought of it from that perspective before. But it was a very crazy morning. And then I remember the amount of people who had their kids in daycare.
Oh, yeah.
And they were trying to get or in school, and they were trying to get the kids home and all this. They were trying to find all these different things, and how nuts it was. It was a very, very crazy morning. But it happened right around late in the 7 o'clock hour, early in the 8 right in the 8 o'clock hour, right when it happened.
Yeah, because I was supposed to be at work at 8. I was on my way, heard it on the radio, and then pulled into the truck stop there, Star 66, because I was already late to work. I'm like, screw it. So I ran in and was watching the TV in the truck stop. Figured, well, I better get my ass to work. So I went to work, found a TV, rolled it into my classroom, and I sat there with the TV on all day, just in awe.
It's just nuts, right?
I was at work, and I remember Noid calling in because Noid had moved to New York by that time.
No, Noid had moved to his wife was in New York at a job interview.
Yeah, and
Noid
he called
in Orlando. Yeah,
he called and said some idiot just flew a plane into the World Trade Center. He didn't know what kind of plane it was. At the time, there were no details because you had asked him, was it a small plane, a commuter plane, what? And he said, I don't know. I think it might have been a small plane. And then just a little while later, we found out that the second one had been hit, and you were on the radio telling people this is not an accident.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was nuts.
And then I was working downtown at the time, and everybody tried to get up and leave all at once, and it was just crazy. People were roads were jammed, and people were calling you and giving you PSAs, this road's blocked,
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to tell people we can't all leave at once. People were bitching, my agency's not letting me go. Well, you got to take turns. We can't all leave at once or we'll never get out of town. Just wait your turn.
I remember people were freaking out. People were calling going, I heard that gas is $11 a gallon over. You know what I mean? They were saying stuff like that. And we're like, well, just hold on. We don't, hold on till we get some verification of this stuff, before people start reporting it. But I do remember there was a gas station that did automatically raise gas prices.
Oh, yeah. Several of them did it, and they got in trouble for it.
Yeah. So I do remember that, I do remember the craziness of that day, and everybody was worried about their children because they didn't know. We didn't know how big this attack was going to be. And people were like saying stuff like, how do we know they're not coming to Springfield? Maybe they're going to put a plane into the Hilton.
Well, the Hilton's not important. The Hilton's just a hotel. It's not a commerce center.
Yeah, the reason that they hit the towers is because, those are the biggest financial. They were the biggest buildings that did financial work in the world. That's why they took out the towers, because that's where all the money was involved in those towers. That's why they did it. So the Hilton was safe. Nobody's like, oh, we need to. I don't think they were sitting in the Middle East. Al Qaeda was saying what we need to do is stop people from having affairs. Was worried about.
They need to knock down the prairie penis. It is an affront to Sharia law.
But I remember people were very freaked out.
Yeah. Springfield is safe. Maybe, possibly, they might have gone after something in Chicago, but there's no one. What is the Chicago stock exchange? Maybe.
How do you get to it? Because it's not. You couldn't. There is a building, but it's not one of the tall ones.
Right.
It's just a medium-sized building.
Right.
So you'd have to hit like 15 buildings to get to it.
Yeah.
So I do remember people were freaking out, but you got to give the FAA, because remember the FAA shut everything down.
Yeah.
They shut everything as soon as the plane hit the second tower, and then there were reports that the Pentagon had gotten hit, and then
Pennsylvania.
the one plane was still up in the air.
The Shanksville.
Yeah, and I don't know where that one was going, but remember they said the passengers brought it down.
Yeah, because they had heard one of the guys on the plane, his wife called him and said, all this shit's going on. Are you safe? These planes are all crashing. And that's when he realized there were shenanigans happening on the plane. And they decided, well, we're not going to let them take any more buildings out.
Which is nuts. Who knows exactly what happened, but it seemed to be that they say that the people on the plane got together and they voted let's take the cabin back. And that's
was there a movie something done about that?
Yeah,
I'm sure
come out a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and what's weird is a couple of the vehicles that were associated with those pilots.
Yeah,
they sat in their parking spots at the airports for years afterwards. They weren't allowed to be moved. They weren't allowed to be touched because they wanted to. The investigation was still ongoing, and one of them, I think, I have pictures at work. One of them sat there for like 5 years. It was a white van just parked in the airport parking lot, and they didn't allow it to be moved.
That's nuts. By the way, Tyler says the plane in Pennsylvania was heading towards the White House.
Well, that's what they think.
Yeah, that's crazy. Of which President Bush wasn't even at the White House that day.
No, he was in a school reading to kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was making an appearance at I want to say a grade school or something.
Yeah, in Florida, I think.
Yeah, it was nuts.
If you're going to do something like that, don't mess with the White House, because there's not usually enough important people in there to do you any good. Wait till Congress is in session and hit the Capitol, or when it's not in session, there's a building across the street where all the congressmen have offices. Try that one.
I mean, they hit the Pentagon, but
yeah.
And did they? I don't think they've ever publicly released that footage.
Oh, I've seen the video of the plane hitting the building.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we've seen it, but it was never publicly released. So it's gotten out, but it was never, they never made a big deal about it.
Yeah, I've been to the Pentagon since, and that memorial that they have there is just eerie. Mm-hmm. They built these little benches and little tiny reflecting pools all along the path of where the plane skidded before it hit the building, and each one of the benches has a name of one of the people on the plane that died, or one of the people that died in the building. And there's so many little benches lined up. It's eerie.
Yeah, it was just a crazy day. I remember that day. I still remember it, and it was so long ago.
Yeah. I remember people walking out of the building and, looking for airplanes. Everybody's walking around, it was, even with all the panic, it was quiet and people were outside looking up for airplanes.
It was just, it was one of the nuttiest days I've ever had.
We have a, hang on, get out of here.
Maybe you guys should let some in. Maybe you should let some immigrants in.
No.
Oh yeah, we have room. They could take the place of all these fucking
Let
cats.
those cats. You might want to. Your lives would be easier then.
Motherfuckers. Anyway, we have a piece of girder from the West Tower, or what, South? I don't know. Anyway, one of the towers. We have a piece of the girder in our lobby at work, and it's just, it's kind of weird when if you don't think about it, it's fine. It's just a piece of metal, but once you realize what it is, walking past it is just kind of crazy.
Yeah, that day was so odd. I mean, it was a horrible day, but being on the air, you had this. I remember I had to separate myself.
Yeah.
I had to separate myself from the situation and what was going on, and just try to focus on how are we going to get through this day.
Yeah. Well, at a time like that, you become the voice of reason.
Yeah. And then when we started going live, it was like, okay, we're not. And I don't know how long the networks, I don't know how long they stayed in Peoria and Bloomington, but in Springfield, we were on the air until I want to say that I was here on the air until like 6 o'clock.
Yeah, you went all day.
But I think that at some point Peoria and Bloomington decided to go back to playing rock music, but Springfield just stayed. We just stayed doing our talk. And then I think eventually maybe at 6 o'clock or whatever, we switched over to WMAY's programming, or it was something weird like that. And then I don't remember when QLZ decided to play rock music again. It was sometime that night, but it was crazy.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that day. And never forget it.
When I got home, I was listening to you, pardon me, and the TV, because you guys get your stuff off AP, right?
Yeah, we had it. Well, we also, I got to tell you, back when that happened, we had Associated Press, and Associated Press has tickers back then. So we had a ticker going from Associated Press that they were using on WMAY, and we had someone monitoring that. Plus, we had all the WMAY. They were doing their coverage. So we had access to all their coverage too.
I just remember having the radio on, listening to you, and having a couple different TVs on different channels. And like anytime there was even the smallest little update, it came from you first.
We had
it always took a while to filter through the TV stations,
because we had WMAY, and they would line up experts come on. And Brando, I'll give credit to Brando. He was my producer at the time. He would run down the hallway, and an expert would get ready to go on WMAY, and because I want to say that Jim Leach took over their coverage, and so they were lining up all these experts to come on and join them on the air. And so he would say, like, well, let's get you on. Well, how about we get you on in like 15 minutes? And Brando would steal them. Brando would say, hey, I know you're scheduled to be on WMY in 15 minutes. How about you go on WQLZ now? And they go, okay. And so we were putting the experts on immediately.
Yeah.
And we were just asking people questions so they can answer. it was a crazy. I mean, I had never done talk radio or any straight radio. Well, everything I had done in my past was all comedy. I had never done serious radio before that day. And then that day happened and it was like, oh my God, what else are we going to do? But serious stuff. It was a
you can't
nutty day. Yeah.
You can't even attempt comedy at a time like that because people would just get so butthurt.
I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine if we had Steve on back then.
Oh shit.
I could not even imagine what kind of confessions he'd be making during a day like that. Kelly says she's been to the memorial in Pennsylvania, and it's such a somber place. She says you can almost hear a pin drop. Everyone's so quiet looking at the exhibits. I imagine.
Yeah.
I can. Damn. All I know is that I got laryngitis
from talking so much
because I talked so much on that day.
You talked for what, 12 hours?
Yeah. We started at 6 a.m. and we went till, I don't know what time we finally stopped, but I had no voice left. It was insane. And we had no commercials, no nothing. We just went nonstop talking and I had no voice left because I can't remember what day of the week it was. Wasn't it like a Tuesday or something like that? I know it wasn't a Monday. But wasn't it a Tuesday or a Thursday, or it was a weird day like that, right? But
yeah, it was Tuesday.
Yeah. I remember I had done 2 Pickles gigs the weekend before. 2 big Pickles gigs. And this is a week removed from Labor Day. Labor Day was the weekend before where I had done 2 Pickles gigs. Then I did a week's worth of shows. Then I did 2 more Pickles gigs. And then I did a Monday show. And then I talked for 12 hours straight on that Tuesday. And by the end of the show, I had no voice left. So I took off. I was off the air on that Wednesday because I had no voice. And it was insane. In fact, the reason that we ended the show on Tuesday on that day was because I had no voice left. I couldn't talk anymore.
Right.
So, yeah, it was a crazy, crazy day. Yeah, I can't remember who asked the original question. Was it Steven?
Yeah,
it was Steven who asked the original question. But yeah, I will never forget that day.
And we shouldn't. We need to talk about this every year on the anniversary to make sure we don't forget, because forgetting and complacency will cause it to happen all over again. That's what happened in the first place. We were complacent. We were invincible.
Yeah.
We can't let that ever happen again. And as long as we remember and
I hope
vigilant.
You know what I mean? I hope that I hope people remember.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's the
it's going to get difficult as time goes by, because there are people in professional jobs now that weren't even alive when it happened.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy?
So eventually those of us who remember, we're not going to be around anymore. And that's when the trouble starts, because the next few generations forget that it happened, or they minimize it, and that allows complacency, and it'll start all over.
Well, I'll give you an example. Germany just had elections. And this is the first time in the German elections that the conservative group has won since we know what happened the last time.
Yeah.
An ultra conservative The last time an ultra-conservative group won the German elections.
Things didn't work out so well.
Yeah, and they just won again. So you're right. People need to remember this shit. You can't, there are some things you can't, some things should not be repeated. But when you get away from it, when people start to forget, that's when bad things happen.
Yep.
That's a good point. Oh,
and
well.
Tom mentions something at the World Trade Center happening back in '93. How many people don't even remember that happened?
That was when this guy, I can't remember his name, but one of the experts that we had on that day in 9/11, I remember him talking about it. He was a guy that tried to blow up the World Trade Towers. He tried to blow them up, and
he drove a van full of explosives down into the parking garage underneath one of the towers and set it off. And it ruined some vehicles and chipped a few columns, but didn't really do any damage.
Yeah,
but that was
the initial plan. And now that guy,
Ramzi Youssef.
What was his name?
Ramzi Youssef.
Ramzi Youssef. Yeah, and that was the guy who had. Those are the people that were telling Osama bin Laden, and that's the one that gave him the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I heard Bill Clinton talking about that.
1,200-pound urea nitrate bomb in his van.
Mm-hmm. It was nuts.
200-foot wide blast crater, 6 stories deep. Are we sure that's the same one? Yeah.
Brent says, good morning. I'll just drop by to say, remember that Ray's a big part of my memories for 9/11. Once again, I want to thank him and the crew from back then. He was calming to me to hear on the air. Thanks, Brent. I appreciate it, buddy. But that wasn't just me. That was me, Sean, Brando.
That was the most serious I had ever heard Jimmy be.
Oh, Brando, Rich, Jimmy. And by the way, all those guys immediately went from being comedians to running. They were running in between my studio and WMAY studio, grabbing information, guests, all that stuff, just to have that show. And to Allison and John and everybody in the Peoria studios and to the Bloomington studios as well. I mean, everybody was working hard. It was a crazy, crazy day. So I just want to thank everybody that made that happen. It was really something. It was one of those crazy it's one of those crazy shows you don't remember. And here's the thing, we don't have a tape of it. We don't have a tape because we ran out of tape.
Yeah. Oh.
And nobody thought to get a new one and put it in. You know.
You were a little busy. You were occupied.
That was nuts.
And there was some I remember when Noid called and said somebody had done the first one. There was some levity and some jokes.
Oh yeah, because we didn't know what it was.
Yeah, but after the second one, it all shut down.
His wife, Noid's wife at the time, I think she was just his girlfriend then. His wife ran a TV outlet in Tampa Bay. He met her when he went down. He was working he left us and he got a job in Baltimore to be a producer of a morning show. And then they went to the Super Bowl. And so he met this woman. She was running the TV station. He met her. They fell in love. And then she got a call from this station in New York City that wanted her to come in and run TV stations in New York. So that's why she was in New York, because she was interviewing for a job. And then she called him that day and said, hey, I'm in Manhattan and I just saw the craziest thing. And she told him, and then he picked up the phone and called us immediately and said, hey, my girlfriend's in New York and she just saw the craziest thing. And that's why we put him on. Right. It was just nuts. It was a crazy, crazy.
And the craziest part about all of that was the fact that Noid married a chick. I thought he was so unbelievably gay.
He's still married to her.
Wow.
They have kids, and yeah.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, I thought he was, yeah.
No, I knew he wasn't gay because he was banging Doran back when he.
Really?
Yeah, during
Didn't
the show.
know that either. Yeah, I'd actually met him a few times and talked to him, and my gaydar went off really bad.
Oh yeah. Well, your gaydar is not accurate.
Apparently not.
No, he was banging good-looking girls when he was here in Springfield. And then but he fell in love with this girl immediately. And then he never left. He never went back after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he gave up his Baltimore stuff for her.
He gave up the Baltimore stuff. Then I think he went when he was in Tampa, he worked for, I can't remember he did get a job at a radio station in Tampa when he decided he was going to stay there. And he did some consulting for Bubba the Love Sponge or somebody down there. I can't remember what company he was with, and then he worked with another company. And so, yeah. But no, then he just decided he gave up his radio career, and then he went into now I think he climbs radio towers or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he's still he's just a different form of the industry.
And still in radio, just not quite the way you think.
Tom wants to know if Jimmy got in trouble for the joke about the plane.
I don't remember.
No,
Brent seems to remember.
Jimmy felt horrible. This is the story that I started this with. Was talking about how intern Rich wrote a joke and Jimmy confessed the joke. All right. But Jimmy didn't know what was going on when he didn't know. He just made a confession and did the bit. And that's when the plane hit the second tower. So no, Jimmy was never in trouble, but he just, nobody could have punished more than he punished himself. He felt really bad. And I just remember having a conversation with Jimmy saying, hey, listen, you didn't write the joke. You read the joke. It's not your, don't be so upset. He was crying. He was really upset about it. Yeah. And Brent's right. There was a woman that called in. And ripped everyone for making the joke. And I just remember telling the woman, no, listen, you don't know how it works. It was a joke that Rich wrote on the fly. He wrote a joke and he sent it gave it to Brando, and Brando sent it to Mikey, and Mikey gave it to Jimmy. And so it was boom, boom, boom. And then Jim told the joke. So Jim had no idea what was going on. He just read the jokes. And I remember losing on the woman, just saying, you don't know how this stuff works. Of course, no one's glad there was a terrorist attack or whatever. So, but I don't know how. I certainly didn't feel good about going nuts on the woman, but I do remember that I thought it was that she was wrong for attacking Jim the way she attacked him, because it certainly wasn't his fault, you know. Yeah. What a nutty day, man.
Yep.
How crazy.
In other news.
Yeah, how'd yesterday go? Have you guys have a good time?
What was yesterday?
I was just wondering. Was it a good day?
I worked yesterday.
And then I worked some more. And then worked some more.
Yeah, and then we went out to the Hump and left there at like 10:30 last night.
You guys were doing the Boo Crew, huh?
Oh, dude.
Are you any closer?
Well, we made progress. We have a lot of the rooms are finished. You know, they still got to get the lids put on and the lights hung. But there are still some rooms that are nowhere even close. Our room is 70%.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. We're getting to the point where we're ready to start decorating, but that's going to be a chore. And then we still have construction debris everywhere, and we can't get enough help to come out and clean up.
Jesus.
So
Yeah.
we open in 3 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
And we have about 6 weeks worth of work left.
I was hoping Christina was going to bring back cantaloupe, but no, she's busy building that fucking
No, I think I ate your cantaloupe yesterday, Ray. It was good. It was ripe. It was sweet. It was nice. Yeah, I know I'm a dick. It's fine. You can say it.
I need some cantaloupe. Of course, all I ate yesterday was chicken, boiled chicken. I did try a salad. I did try a salad yesterday. Except when I eat that salad, I can actually hear the bubbling.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't even know what's causing that.
Your body's not ready. It can't process it yet.
Yeah.
The part of your body that processes that no longer exists. So your stomach's freaking out.
Yeah. Just sucks.
And I'm surprised you didn't end up with painful gas afterwards.
No, I had cottage cheese. Cottage cheese was good.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't eat much. I literally just cannot eat a lot of anything.
I do believe that's the idea.
So I had eggs.
Pretty much.
Here's the eggs left over from this morning.
Good job.
I can't eat them all. So I had scrambled eggs. Then I had eggs after the show. Then I had another protein drink after the show, as well as the one I drank during the show. And then I had cottage cheese and boiled. I had some chicken soup. So a lot of chicken yesterday. Oh, well.
Well, good for you.
But
in other news, did you hear about the Massey Memorial Bridge?
No.
Springfield City Council has approved the creation of the Sonia Massey Memorial Bridge. The overpass on Jefferson is going to be painted with selected murals memorializing Sonia Massey, and it was a unanimous decision by the City Council.
That's fantastic.
It is.
Yep.
It's extremely fantastic. That's something else we need to never forget, because if we forget, we're going to let that shit happen again.
Yeah. Well, this latest one, this is a city police, not county police, but did you see there was a guy who had just retired?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he was coming home from, I guess they went out for drinks after his retirement or something.
Yeah.
And he hit.
He turned in front of a motorcycle, and the motorcycle hit him.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And he was celebrating his retirement just a tad early, because his retirement party, people from my office were supposed to go to it. It was scheduled for the next night. This happened on like a Thursday. His retirement party was scheduled for Friday night.
Yeah. And he hit the people on the bike. And so I know there was a rally yesterday.
And he has been officially charged with aggravated DUI.
Because they said the night that it happened, they asked him to take a breathalyzer test, and he said no.
Mm-hmm.
So that means, but when you refuse a breathalyzer test,
you have to get a blood draw.
Yeah, they took his blood. So everybody's like, "Oh yeah, he got out of it because he refused." And it's like, no, they took his blood. No. They still had the blood.
Anybody can refuse, but
Yeah.
if you refuse, you are compelled to a blood draw.
Yeah.
But it may take a while to get you to the hospital to draw that. Even a regular person is not going to go to the hospital right fucking now for that blood draw, because there's things they have to do at the scene. Unless you require medical attention, you're going to be there until they're done with you at that scene to get you to the hospital for your draw.
So they did the blood draw, and I guess that showed that he was drunk or something.
Yeah.
So they've arrested the guy now. So
yeah.
But did the people die, or they're just
the ladies
and the ones
she's still on life support.
Yeah,
the dude's he's in a wheelchair for he is going to have can't even walk right now.
Wow,
yeah, extensive. They've already sent him home from the hospital. Because I guess St. John's doesn't have a inpatient rehabilitation, which I didn't know. I thought St. John's is one of the better hospitals in Illinois, so maybe not.
Corey said they allegedly gave the guy bottled water.
Yeah, there's video going around. You can see the other officers giving him a bottle of water, and he's stumbling around, getting in and out of vehicles.
I did see the video of the guy stumbling. Yeah.
And laughing and joking. And it's all dirt. I mean, these guys, they all knew each other, so of course they're going to be all buddy. And that's you're going to have that in any department, really. It's a sad thing, but it's going to happen. But at least the right thing was done, and they charged him with aggravated DUI. And yes, Holly, no breathalyzer. He refused the breathalyzer, which is a legal right for all of us.
Everybody can refuse, bro.
Yeah, not just cops. All of us can refuse
but I do know the Illinois State Police took over that investigation almost. Yeah, almost immediately. And the Illinois State Police, they're the ones who investigated the Sonia Massey shooting.
Yeah,
and they're not playing around. The Illinois State Police are not playing around.
No.
Yeah. I'll be damned. And now he's been arrested.
Yep.
Jesus. Just take a fucking Uber, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not that difficult. You call a ride, you take an Uber.
Ubers are so easy.
Yep.
If you drink anything, take an Uber. If you drink anything, don't drive.
It's not that hard to do.
Like Steve drove after that event on Saturday. God knows if he would have driven instead of walked, if he would have driven instead of walked, God knows how many people he'd have run over.
You should have seen it. He was all over the fucking road with that walker. That's why I had to walk in the middle of the road, so people, so he wouldn't hit other walkers and drivers.
You know how much damage he could have caused the cars if they'd have hit him.
That one little airplane bottle of Sambuco fucked him up. He should not have been walking.
I gotta be honest. I don't drink anymore, but I could not even imagine how little it would take for me to get drunk.
Oh, you
right now,
Big D was hammered at you guys' cookout.
Yeah.
And he was just drinking those little bottles.
Yep. A little airplane bottle. Did him in.
Son of a bitch.
You could probably just smell a shot of whiskey right now and get a buzz.
I'll be damned. Yeah, I don't know after gastric surgery, I don't know what it takes to get messed up, but I can tell Christina was chugging at that event on Saturday.
And how quick do I get buzzed?
It doesn't take much to get her all fuckered up, but
how
then
quick before those panties are off, Dan?
Fine.
We're not going to talk about that. Anyway, it doesn't take her.
How quick before the drunk goes in and the panties go off?
Margaritas?
I don't know if the panties came off because the second we walked in the door that night, I was PTFO. I'm like, I'm going to bed. Fuck this. I'm tired. So the panties may have come off, but I was not involved. Because I think I had more to drink than she did. And with her, it doesn't take her very much at all to get a buzz. But then it's also gone minutes later. Because the process is right back out.
Plus, you keep drinking.
So she has to maintain. And me, I can't do that. Once I get there, by the time I realize I've gotten there, I'm already past that point, and I should probably stop. That's why I was experiencing relations with Alondra, because,
And that picture of you at Steve's house, you look like you're passed out, dude.
I was fuckered. We had to actually wait for a while and then, not call Uber, which I feel bad about.
Here's the picture of, for those that missed it, here's the picture of Dan at Steve's house after the party on Saturday night. He just looks like he's ready to sleep there.
She was whispering in my ear. It was nice.
Looks like she's licking your forehead.
Yeah, all that pillow talk. It was great.
She does have good pillow talk.
Pablo says, "Do you think Steve did Dan's manly duty?" Yeah. Do you think Steve took care of your woman for you since you were?
Oh, hell no.
I'm not sure if Steve would have been able to. He would probably gone off too many times already at the show, looking at all that ass that was out there.
Was there a lot of good women at that concert or that show Saturday night, Steve?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
name
don't
it,
know that.
I can smell it.
Yeah.
What a pervert. Such a pervert.
Big D says that my little tryst on the couch there was the most action anybody got that night.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Because I sure didn't get any.
Because D and Jen went home and probably went to bed.
I'm sure Brady passed the hell out
Yeah.
before they even made it home, so Bree didn't get any.
Brady probably slept in the car.
You think Brady slept in the car?
Brady probably slept on the walk from the concert to the car. I offered to carry him, and Bree wouldn't let me.
Wonder how hammered he's going to be at his wedding.
Well, I'll
Oh
let
my
you know
God.
because I'm going to be the photographer. So
My advice
I'll-
is just don't drink at your wedding. Just Brady, just don't drink at your wedding.
yeah.
Just enjoy the night. Enjoy the night. Enjoy your friends. Have a good time.
Don't even pre-drink. Don't have the boys gather around out back behind the church and do a couple of shots
Yeah.
to start the party. No, don't even do that because if you get started, by the
Yep.
time you're saying your vows, you're going to be passing out.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
I had
I've
to
seen
go
it
pee
happen.
at the last. I had to go pee at the last minute. I had to have my best man come help me get undressed, so I could. Oh, good. Oh, because I had tails and cummerbunds, all that bullshit.
19 fucking layers.
No, I couldn't. I said, dude, I
Did
can't
he
hook all this
have
shit
to
back
hold
up.
it for you?
Took me an hour to get in the fucking shit. I got a little pissed.
Corey says to make sure I take the lens cover off. Well, funny story about that. I lost my lens cover, so it's not a problem.
Oh, well, hey. You don't have to worry
No
about it.
issues there.
I'm looking forward to Brady's wedding. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
What you do,
My
radio,
advice is
is
don't get drunk, at your wedding.
Yeah.
you get drunk and then
Bree
you
already
eat,
warned him.
and then you can drink more.
I'm bringing 2 cameras. One for, the wedding and all the stuff, and then one for later on at the reception because it has shake reduction built in. So when I get a little unsteady, it'll take the wobble out of the shots.
Yeah, take out that wobble. That's gonna be a big morning disaster event
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because Jason's DJing. There's morning
What?
disaster people all around that. It's gonna be a good time.
No, Amanda, I will not be taking pictures at the honeymoon.
I will.
Oh,
Of
good.
course you would, you pervert.
I want Steve to get really dressed up at the wedding.
Wear his dress sweats.
Yeah, his good sweats.
I might shine my shoes. for
I'm
this
hoping
one.
I'll start losing weight by then, so I'll look good when I.
Oh, I hope so. It's not till next summer.
By the way, I was looking up after my type of surgery and stuff. I was looking up like how hard it is to gain weight. And everything I was reading online is like it is impossible to gain weight immediately after the kind of surgery that I had. You know what I mean? It is impossible. It's next to impossible to gain weight after that surgery. And yet somehow, you know what, Christina?
Hmm.
Exceptional.
Yes, we know.
Yeah. It's got to be the hematoma.
Yeah.
It's got to be because even when I talk to the doctor's office, they're like, it's got to be the hematoma. There's no way that you could be. There's no way. They're like, what are you eating? I'm like, I tell them, I said, there's no way you're gaining weight. I go, well, I feel like it. They say, no, you're not gaining weight.
Yeah.
But it does. I haven't seen anybody. You know what I mean? Usually people come around who haven't seen me in a while. They say, oh, you look like you've lost weight, but I haven't. All I've seen is my wife.
Right.
And she hates me, so all she talks about is Jen's right. Jen's right. All she's doing is complain about my gas. You know what I mean? Because Jen told my wife after Big D had the surgery how much the gas stunk. So, and I try to hide my farts, like fart when my wife's not in the room and stuff like that. But sometimes you just can't help it. Sometimes you're just sitting there and, and it comes out. So she was warning D. My wife walks in the room and goes, "Oh my God, Jen was right." I go, "What?" And I go, I said, "It was like 20 minutes ago when I farted in here." She goes, "Well, it's still lingering."
Damn.
Yeah, so.
Funny story about farts.
I think she's anxiously awaiting to go back to.
Yeah, so she can hide from the smell. She has to
Yeah.
go all the way to Texas to not smell
Yeah.
your ass.
Yeah.
I have never heard this one here fart. It's like she does not have the physical ability to pass
Dude,
gas. It never
Oh,
happens.
you only knew.
And
never
I've been
fucking
married
happened.
I've been married 32 years. 32 years. I have never heard her fart, and I know she does.
Yeah, well, you have to. Everybody
I
does.
know
Everybody
that
does.
she's got to probably have some sloppy farts going on. I've just never heard them.
Well, it's ironic that you mentioned sloppy farts because I've never heard a single toot or anything from
It's
this
crazy.
woman
Oh,
here.
It's
The other
crazy.
night-
right?
The
I've
other
heard my
night, coming
ex-wife
home,
so bad. I've heard my ex-wife so bad. I told her, I think you shit your pants.
The
Wow.
She
exact
could rip some
opposite.
good ones.
The exact opposite of me is Big D, who says he's finding it hard to put on weight now. He lost 9 pounds last night.
wow.
Damn.
So he's losing. He's not even trying to lose weight, and he's losing it. Me, I'm putting weight on,
He eat all the time. He's always eating something.
Yeah,
and
he was
I'm not.
eating donuts and shit at the concert.
I'm not eating anything. I wish I could eat a donut. I couldn't eat it. However, I did have a bite of. I had a bite of have you guys heard of this Crave cookies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a new cookie place called Crave. And my wife got this butter cookie with cheesecake. And I tried some of that last night. Oh my God. It was I couldn't eat much, but it was really good.
Yeah.
That sounds yummy.
So
Well, anyway, we were on the
But I
way
guess
home
you-
from the haunted house the other night.
I guess she got stuff for herself and just gave me a piece of it, but still.
Yeah, well, that's all you need.
Well, you're not supposed to be eating that shit anyway.
Well, I know, but why buy it if I can't eat it? Yeah,
We
32
were,
years. I've never heard my wife fart.
Well, I didn't hear it, but we were on the way home from the haunted house the other night. And all of a sudden, as we're going down the highway, somebody punched me in the face with a turd.
Oh, crept up on you, huh?
Oh, there was no creep. It jumped out and yelled in my face. This smell. It was like, being like somebody took a baseball glove full of shit and just did that. And I'm like, what the fuck? Who shit? I was thinking it was one of the boys in the back seat, right? Because these people are nonstop gas factories.
It was Elliot.
And I said, who shit? And I look over and she's doing this, leaning up against the door. I'm like, what the fuck?
I couldn't help it. My stomach was just grumbling, and I'm like, oh God.
But we had the radio on, and,
Well,
and the fucking windows were down. The air's out in my car. So we had
Windows
the
were
windows
down and you still could smell it? Oh my God.
It was bad. I couldn't help it.
What corpse did you bring home from the haunted house? What is that fucking smell? Good Lord.
I know I've gone in to the restroom after my wife has used it, and I've gotten a whiff of bad smell. It's disgusting. But I've never 32 years, I've never heard anything. It's crazy.
Yeah, there are times when I'll walk into the bathroom afterwards and be like, "Wow, somebody's eating good,"
But I know that Jen was telling my wife, she was telling Dee, she's like, just wait for the farts. And I know my wife agrees because now she's like, oh my God. She's made comments on how bad it, how bad it is. Big D says he passes gas in the truck and just waits for her to get it. Then he rolls the windows down because it kills him too.
Oh my God.
By the way, Karen says her husband's morning farts are the worst. They smell like rotten milk.
Ew.
Oh. Jen says she told Dee that when she farts around him, she doesn't even feel guilty anymore.
I wouldn't. Give it back to him.
That's right. Sharing is caring. And I'd always been under the impression that women don't belch or fart, so they have to bitch or they'll pop. But she was definitely not bitchy that night in the car.
Oh, my wife belches very loudly.
Right on. So does
A
she.
lot of belching going on.
Yeah, especially when I drink soda. That's
And I
great.
say things like, oh my God, that is so unattractive.
Well, do you think it turns her on when you shit your pants?
Yeah.
I don't know, but there's no way it could, because some of these are just, I've got to tell you, some of these are deadly.
Oh, yeah.
I was not prepared. I was not prepared for the amount of gas that I am bringing up. You know what I mean?
Even though D and Jen both warned
Big D told me, Christina told me, people who've had the surgery before have told me. But I got to tell you, I was still not prepared for it. Still not prepared for the gas.
I had to carry gas X strips with me everywhere I went.
It has been. And so my wife bought this, some kind of peppermint stuff, like some kind of pill or something you're supposed to take. And I'm like, I'm not taking that.
No, just let her rip.
Yeah. I keep waiting to, want to rip one when I'm doing the show, but
Oh my God.
I'm not there yet.
Don't
I'm
trust the fart.
That's what we
Don't
need.
trust-
Another one ripping on air. You, that one there.
I have not farted on air in quite a while.
Well, Dan said that it's his
My CPAP.
it is his CPAP that causes his farts.
Yeah, because I sometimes
What?
my tongue blocks
Your
the air
morning
hole
farts.
and I get air shoved down into my stomach and it just sits there and ferments.
Okay, that's your morning farts. Explain the rest of the day.
Oh, I got to store some up for later.
Oh, good God.
Well, does it mean you're healthy, or I don't know how it works.
Oh yes, it's very healthy.
Yeah, everybody has different gut biology, but majority of food-based farts are just caused by bacteria chewing away at the food, and then they release the bacteria itself is emitting the gas, and it builds up in your stomach.
I know that I know that I'm taking probiotic now. I'm taking a probiotic every day, plus fiber. And the diarrhea is almost gone for me, so thank God.
You're tightening up.
Yes. Look at Steve. What are you doing, Steve?
I think he's laughing at that.
Yeah, that's
Big
why
Steve
he wears.
doesn't trust him anymore.
That's why he wears long shirts now.
He had to stop at Dollar General to pull his shirt out to help hide a potential spot on his back.
That's why he wears long shirts now, in case he has to cover up a misfire.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
Brent, we're not going to discuss that.
Jeff says he knew a kid in school who could suck air up in his ass and fart on command.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a guy.
Jimmy used to be friends with that Gas Girl, and Gas Girl could fart on command. That was crazy. I don't know how she did it, but
Oh, wow.
she could fart on command.
When I was much younger and much more flexible, I could lay on my back and hike my ass up in the air, and I could suck in air and fart. I can't do it now because I can't bend that way, but I used to be able to.
Unbelievable.
Then there's that guy over in England, Mr. Methane.
Oh yeah, I remember when he was on our show. He was doing that.
He could play songs out his asshole.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow.
All I know is that my gas is getting worse, so I do feel bad for my wife. But I'm starting to feel a little bit better, if that makes any,
It's a long process.
Yeah, I want to work out though. I really, but I don't have any energy. You know what I mean?
Your body is too busy trying to heal for you to have energy. All your energy is going into recovery.
But all I'm eating is protein.
You do need to throw the occasional carb into that.
Well, like I said, I had a little piece of cookie yesterday, so yeah. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like I should be back to more normal, whatever.
It's not like you're getting a broken finger fixed. You had major surgery done on your body, and it needs time to recover.
Yeah.
So don't push it, or you're gonna fuck yourself up.
Well, like you fell and scraped your knee and had to have 10 firefighters come help you up off the ground.
I almost said that, but I thought it was going to be nice and go with the broken finger analogy. But if you're just going to put yourself out there, I'll let you do it.
Good old Stevenator.
Yeah, it was funny walking up to that concert there in Williamsville. The Williamsville fire people were sitting on the back of the rescue truck, and when Steve rounded the corner of that tent, I saw a couple of them get up. They all stood up. They're like, "Oh shit!" It's like royalty.
We had to go pick up.
Grab your back braces. Here he comes.
They were saluting him.
Yeah.
They were saluting him. They know what
That tiny little girl he keeps referencing is Shaner's daughter.
Is that who it is?
Yeah. That's Shaner's daughter.
If fire department had their ATV there, I was going to fall just to get a ride on the ATV.
You were that lazy. You didn't want to walk the 2 blocks.
I failed. Can you guys give me a ride on the ATV?
I have to give Steve credit, though.
Yeah.
He made the entire walk. He had to take a few breaks, but he made the entire walk.
Not as many breaks going as they coming now.
Proud of you, Steve.
Yeah,
I can't wait to get your hair dyed.
Too.
I can't wait to get your hair colored again.
Oh, God.
Can we get it like colored and cut in some sort of style that makes him look fast? So when he's out walking, he just looks fast.
I think he should go with dirty blonde surfer look. That's what he should go with. He should go with the dirty blonde surfer look.
Start calling him Point Break.
Yeah. And we call him Point Break. Absolutely. And even paint his goatee and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought you looked good last time Christina did your hair.
A little dark.
It was a little dark last time, but I'm thinking dirty blonde, man. You'll look cool.
Like Colt Seavers? You thought that? Like that color?
No, I'm saying like surfer.
Like Trump? Oh, hell no. My mom would kill me.
You look cool. Surfer hair. That's our Stevenator. Or like a gold.
Cool.
Do his hair kind of gold, where he'd look like I don't even know who had gold hair, but that'd be kind of cool too.
Jeff's talking about somebody named Gold Dust. I'm gonna have to look that
Yeah.
up.
Oh, Gold Dust, the wrestler, yeah.
Yeah.
Gold Dust. By the way, I want to say hello to our listeners on Facebook and X, YouTube. Everybody checking us out today. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. DA says, can he pay for Steve's hair to be pink? No, I don't want pink. I want it to look like a natural color. You know what I mean? Like a dirty blonde or brown or, you know. Last time it almost looked black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was dark brown. Was what it was. Let's see.
That's what I mean. A dirty blonde or a light brown. That's what you got to go with. That'll make you look young.
You can't see. Probably can't see the color. Can you?
No.
I don't think so.
My hair's so gray, but I need to turn on the light so you guys can see it.
This is
Oh, well.
golden blonde.
Now my wife is sounding like the listeners of this show. She's like, I like your she goes, I like your salt and pepper hair.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Medium ash.
We told you.
blonde.
Doesn't listen to us.
Like because I thought I was gonna be able to color it. And she's like, no, I like the salt and pepper. And I'm like, oh shit.
Yep.
So much for me coloring it.
Dark blonde.
I want to get a new pube cutter.
Oh,
Because I see that these commercials are out with this pube cutter where they're putting it against a balloon and it's not even popping a balloon.
Yeah. That's the one from Manscaped. It's called the lawnmower, I think.
I need to get
They're expensive, but they're supposed to be worth the price.
I'm gonna get you one.
Yeah, because that new shaver you got me, that'll rip my ball sack off.
Holly says no ash in your color, Steve. It will turn your hair green.
Oh, okay.
And Corey says it's called the lawnmower 4.0.
To just trim everything down.
Yeah.
Golden blonde.
I've only got hair on the fupa. You know what I mean? So it's just
Oh.
I don't have hair on my ass or anything. So
Well, I am so glad we got that update today.
Wow.
I don't think
I
I could have lived another day if I,
don't
didn't
have
know.
a hairy ass, thank God.
Gone without that.
I'm sure I do. I can't see back there, but I don't want to risk putting a shaver back there because it's probably, fucking Amazon jungle back there and it'll tear up the shaver. I don't know. What do you think? You've seen it.
No comment.
And I don't want to shave my ass because when the stubble starts to grow back, I'll be sitting in my chair itching and scooting and doing
Exactly.
that butt rubbing thing on the carpet like the dogs do.
Exactly.
It's a bad thing about shaving. When it grows back, it's just horrible.
I just want to DA says, why isn't the brand manager trying to get a paid commercial deal with Manscaped so you can get some free items? I don't know. You're right.
Well, since it was just now thought of, let's work on that.
Yeah, I'd love to get some kind of pubic grooming. Yeah. Because I groomed, but I used my regular razor or my regular shaver. So I don't know, but
yeah, I tried using my beard trimmer once and I took a chunk out of my nutsack, so I will never do that again.
Ouch.
that's the fears. I did something. I don't know what I did something. I don't know what, but
Yeah, there's nothing worse than a nicked nutsack because you can't even sit comfortably.
you don't want a nick in the nutsack.
Nope.
I'll tell you that. Say good old Saint Nick. Oh well. Big D says, shit, his fupa has a fupa now.
Oh my god.
His fupa has double chins.
Oh shit.
Oh, mine got triple chins with moles and everything else on.
Oh
Lord.
god.
Wow, Steve. All I know is I'm ready to start working out again, man. I really want to get out there and get my sweat on.
You're basically going to have to start over, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
You can't pick right up where you left off.
Oh, I know that. I know that like I said, I used to do 45 minutes of cardio.
Yeah.
Now, if I go 20 minutes, it's going to be a miracle. I really feel like I'm that much out of shape. And they said I won't be able to do any weights until at very minimum 7 weeks after surgery.
Yeah.
And I'm only 4 weeks out of surgery now. So,
Well, no matter what weights you lift, it involves abdominal muscles. And if you get to straining, you're going to rip something.
yeah, I know that. So, Big D says he did 3 minutes on the rowing machine the other day. Way to go, Big D.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I probably couldn't even do 3 minutes.
I did get a 10-pound dumbbell. So I did light curls. I did light curls yesterday.
If you're going to
I've been doing them every day. Light curls every day.
Make sure you're doing isolated curls. So put your elbow on the arm of your chair or lock your elbow on something so you're taking all the abdominal out of it.
Yep, I have. That's what I've been doing. And I've been doing like this, and then I've been doing like this.
Yeah. There's a thing called a Zotman curl you can do where you isolate your elbow, you curl up, roll your wrist over, and curl back down. And it's the resistance on the way back down that helps. And then, do a couple of them that way and then switch. So you come up in reverse and roll and go back down. And it's a really good curl.
Pretty good. So I want to keep the guns. I want the gun show. So I want my wife to be impressed when I show my muscles.
There you go.
Yeah.
Start walking around sleeveless.
Yeah.
I need some dumbbells.
I want to make sure that my titties aren't hanging out the side, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, good God.
I don't want my titties hanging because my skin's already starting to sag a little bit. So
yeah, that's the problem I have with sleeveless shirts, is my tits tend to flop out the armpit holes.
Yeah. I don't want armholes where my tits are hanging out. Nobody wants that.
It's kind of cool though, because I can ride in the car and stick my arm out the window, and then my tit just flop along like a dog's ear.
Jesus.
you just hear that tick kind of going. Like Steve's got those big tits. He knows what we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
But then, when I start thinking about getting healthy again, then I'll look at Facebook and they have those reels now on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll see somebody making pancakes.
Oh God.
Can you make it flap in the wind?
Yeah, make it flap, Steve.
Ew.
Oh. All right. Can we stop now? Can we stop?
Oh.
I'm sorry I asked.
Oh. Look, make Brent leave.
Brent's like, fuck
He
this
said,
shit right now.
no.
Brent ran away. Thanks.
Gotta
Steve.
go, bye.
Do you blame him?
I'll just stare
If I
at
could
it.
get out.
Yeah.
Diane, that was Sir Steve Titsafloppin. That's what that was.
Oh my God. I'm taking that fucking camera away from him.
Remove
Stevenator.
Titty cam.
All right, so let's run down what we learned today. No immigrants are eating Christina's pets, thank God.
We just need a Korean guy to come in here.
We had memories of 9/11, which was, and it was crazy to remember all that stuff. It really, God, what a horrible day 23 years ago. Really something.
And it's crazy just thinking about how long ago it was.
No, dude.
Because it's in my head, it's like 2 years ago.
And the whole thing when you said there's people that weren't even born when it happened, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know.
My nieces weren't even born.
Yeah, like Elliot. Yeah, never know.
My nieces weren't even thought about.
And yet for all of us, it was such an important day.
Yeah.
God. It was just nuts. And we saw Steve's breast, which is always a good show. Always a good show. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. for another show. 2 shows tomorrow, guys.
Big D, I'm going to slap the shit out of you.
Big D said he missed it. There you go, buddy.
And he requested
trying to help.
Big D was too busy messing with his fupa chins. These guys could be a superhero duo. We have fupa chins and tits flopping.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. I want to thank everybody for checking us out today. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. 2 shows tomorrow. 2 shows tomorrow.
Football tomorrow night.
And football tomorrow night.
Oh, speaking of football, Ray, I did learn that, remember how I used to bitch when I took your football advice, I would lose my bets?
Yeah.
Well, I've learned that if I take my own advice, I also lose my bets.
Oh, congratulations.
Because I put money on, was it Sunday's game? I don't know. Whatever game Green Bay, what night was Green? Oh, Green Bay was Monday night, or not Green Bay.
Friday night was Green Bay.
Aaron Rodgers is the Jets now. It was Monday night, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I put money on the Jets and lost my ass.
Oh, damn, I could have told you that. You could.
I told you, I won money on Kansas City. I won money on Philadelphia. I won money on San Francisco. I won money on Chicago Bears. I won some money over the weekend. So football for me has been doing really well.
I think from now on, when I go to make a bet, I'm going to look at it, and whichever one, yeah, that's the one, I'm going to pick the opposite.
Well, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you.
I could have told you not to take,
Well, the stuff I was reading was picking the Jets.
Yeah, everybody said Aaron Rodgers is coming back. I'm still.
Aaron Rodgers is 40 some odd years old.
He's still over the hill to me. I mean, yeah, he didn't impress me.
And the 49ers,
didn't impress me.
The 49ers are one of the best teams in football. Yeah.
Even though McCaffrey didn't run, that Mason really stepped up to the plate.
Yeah,
and rushed for. I was surprised. That's just. I think San Francisco is going to be tough to beat this year. You got Miami and Buffalo Thursday night, right? Wow. And then aren't the Bears and the Bears are playing what, Sunday night? I think so, yeah. Jesus, so we got good games. Football's been really fun so far this year. Is Tyreek going to play tomorrow night, or is he still in jail? No, he played Sunday after. Yeah, but didn't they arrest him right after the game? No, they arrested him before the game. Oh, they arrested him before the game. And he played in the game and had a big game. So we'll see. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for checking us out today. Listen, good luck to Dan and Christina. I know you guys are trying to get the Boo Crew all set up. We wish you luck with that.
We're taking a day off today.
We need it. Maybe.
No, I hope
we're spending every waking moment out there. Our kids have forgotten what we look like because they get home from school, we're at the haunt, and then we come home and they're in bed. Fortunately, Elliot's old enough to manage. So I think they forgot. Well, they see her in the morning when they get up for school, but other than that, I don't even remember what Elliot looks like. Gabriel's calling Elliot daddy. Hey, daddy. Yeah. No, Gabriel calls me his black daddy.
Why does Gabriel call you his black daddy?
I don't know.
Because Gabriel realizes he knows now he's biracial.
Right.
white and he's African American.
Right.
Well, his dad is, Chad's white. So
Right.
he said he wants Dan to be his black daddy because he needs a black daddy.
So Dan is black daddy.
Yeah.
I'm black daddy.
Way to go. Way to go, Gabriel. When I think of a black father, I picture Dan.
Now, Gabriel is pretty short. So Gabriel
is short.
was-
Yeah, Gabriel's
Yes, he
short
is.
and quick, right? Isn't he fast?
Oh, yeah, he is.
When he actually gets off his ass and does something.
Boy, spoiler rotten.
Yeah.
Not my child.
Spoiled rotten. Poor Gabriel. All right. Let's wrap it up today, guys. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. You guys have a great rest of your hump day. We'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Did you like to see